Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the live stream here on the channel. Hopefully everybody is having a fantastic Saturday so far. Let's see what we have in here in today's chat. We've got Jax, Pez, Ben, Random Guy, Misty, Peter, Kat, Edits. Let me go down a little bit more. Randall, and everybody else who is watching may not be chatting. Or if I missed you, welcome to the live stream. Misty, Luke, glad to see you guys all in here today. Let's go ahead and change our scene on over to our main screen here. Let me see if everything's correct. Of course, we start with a bit of a lag spike. Why wouldn't we? Per usual Streamlabs thing. So, yeah, in this live stream, we'll be talking about our potential historic snowstorm in the southern United States. We'll go over a couple model runs, quite a few model runs in different scenarios, and also definitely a lot of uncertainty today. We'll go over some of that uncertainty, and also our most accurate model run so far handling this system has been the European model run. So if you're looking at the GFS model, just take that into account. The GFS has been terrible with this system. It's trended southeast again for like the 20th time. So we're going to start here actually with our official Weather Prediction Center outlooks here. Try to always start with something official, and this is the Weather Prediction Center's fronts forecast. So currently across the United States, we're seeing some thunderstorms and heavy rain across portions of Georgia into Florida. We're seeing some lake effect snowfall up here in New York, into Vermont and New Hampshire, even into northwestern Maine. We've got a little bit of flurries making its way across Oklahoma, Arkansas, also back up here in South Dakota, Wyoming, into a good chunk of central Colorado as well. That is what's happening right now across the U.S. Then as we go throughout the rest of tonight, we'll continue to see that front produce rain across portions of the southeastern United States, and we'll begin to see snow out here in Kentucky, potentially up into Ohio, back out towards Illinois, Arkansas, Missouri, and Tennessee. That snow should be fairly light, shouldn't really accumulate much unless you are in the higher elevations of eastern Tennessee. Then going into tomorrow morning, we'll see this low pressure try to rapidly deepen out here in North Carolina and South Carolina. Keyword is try, because it actually doesn't succeed until it gets up into the New England states. But even with that low pressure trying to deepen, it still allows for heavy snowfall to begin across portions of New York, into Ohio, into Indiana, all of Kentucky, back down into Tennessee, maybe even into north central Alabama as well. That is going to be for about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Then as we go into tomorrow around 1 p.m. Eastern, our low pressure is continuing to deepen here in portions of central northeastern North Carolina, producing heavy rain along and southeast of that low pressure, whilst we continue to see very heavy snowfall up here across a very large portion of the New England states into the eastern Midwestern United States as well. I just ate, so I'm going to have to get a lot of water to get this little raspy voice gone. I also did a 2-hour TikTok live stream today, so my voice is already not liking me. Then we go into 7 p.m. Monday, and you can see, or rather, this is 7 p.m. Sunday, 7 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. And they show 2 low pressures forming here in just off the coastline of New York State here, and that continues to allow for very heavy snowfall across portions of the far interior New England states here. I do think this could be a little bit to the southeast as well as a bit stronger. They show this being like 1,000 millibar. I do think it could be a tiny bit stronger than that. Thankfully, this doesn't look like a historic nor'easter. The historic part from this, or rather from snowfall totals, will be more in the southern U.S. with our system after this towards Tuesday. Then as we go into Monday morning, this low pressure system will move rapidly off to the northeast, as it does indeed rapidly deepen, but by the time it rapidly deepens, it loses its moisture, it goes over land, and therefore it's not favorable for very, very heavy snowfall. It still will drop heavy snow in portions of northeastern Maine as it begins to exit the United States. I didn't look in Canada to see if it drops any heavy snow up there. Let me see. No, it really doesn't drop much heavy snow in Canada. It does outside of New Brunswick, but it really doesn't drop a lot of heavy snow. Nothing like over a foot outside of the U.S. So then as we go into Monday morning, the main feature across the U.S. will be this low pressure here associated with a very large elongated trough ejection across a very large chunk of the United States here. We'll also see a high pressure ridge in the central U.S. as well as high pressures try to form over the north central, or rather the northwestern United States. Our main trough ejection, see if I can try to point it out here. I'm going to look really quick, though, to see. I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So it's literally this entire thing. This entire thing here is our entire large trough ejection right here that the Weather Prediction Center is forecasting. And 12Z tomorrow, or rather 12Z Monday, like I said, we'll see that heavy snow across Kansas, or light to heavy snow across western Kansas, western Oklahoma, upper elevations of Colorado. And then finally, as we get into Monday night, that's when our low pressure will try and form in the Gulf of Mexico. It will start to fling up some moisture into Texas, Louisiana, maybe even into portions of Mississippi by the time we get into around 3, 4 a.m. Tuesday morning. And then by the time we get into 8 a.m. Tuesday morning, our winter storm is full-fledged ongoing out here in a large chunk of the southeastern United States. Currently, they are forecasting rain in South Carolina and Georgia here in the morning hours of Tuesday. I haven't really looked into that to see if that's actually going to occur or not. Let me go see if models show that rain in front of our snow. Some models do, but it doesn't seem to be a really good consistency with seeing rain in front. That rain might end up being a little bit more south. I don't think we'll really have much precipitation out here at 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. Yeah, I don't think we'll see a whole lot of precipitation out there at 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. We'll probably see them end up fixing that as we go into tomorrow. They'll issue a new fronts forecast, and they'll most likely end up fixing that. But currently, for 12Z Tuesday, they show that large area of snow, and our main area of snow will actually be focused back in this corridor right here. So that will stretch all the way from, I think that's very close to, if not over, San Antonio, Texas, back up through Houston, into Shreveport, Alexandria, New Orleans, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi, down towards almost Gulfport, Mississippi, barely to the north of Mobile, Alabama, through Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, maybe even all the way up towards Huntsville area in northeastern Alabama, very early Tuesday morning. And that's really as much as we get. If we go to the next frame here, this is when the winter storm will be leaving the United States. And you can see they only have a very small portion of the coastline that could see snow at 8 a.m. or rather 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. But our snow for the eastern United States will actually happen around the 06Z time frame Wednesday morning. So this doesn't, this official forecast doesn't go out that far. And therefore it looks like you don't get any snow in North Carolina or South Carolina, but that's just because we skip a full day time frame there. We skip the entire time frame from 7 p.m. Tuesday to 7 p.m. Wednesday, or 7 a.m. Tuesday to 7 a.m. Wednesday. Let's see here. So this is their official forecast for snowfall here. This is the probability of seeing around 3 or so inches of snowfall. And you can see they have a 70 to 90% chance of seeing 3 inches of snowfall out here in Louisiana, and a 50 to 70% chance along a good chunk of the Carolina coastline. Now, I do not like this product. I've really rarely used this. It's not really something I've used that often, so what I prefer to use is just the National Weather Service's warnings here. And currently, they don't have any warnings out for the Carolinas. They only have watches out all the way back here, actually, in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. No watches have been issued along the southeastern coastline of the U.S. And out here towards southeastern Texas, most of this area, they're calling for about 1 to 3 inches of snowfall. And then once you get towards the eastern side of far eastern Texas into western Louisiana, they switched that up to about 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. And then actually earlier today, the National Weather Service in New Orleans, Louisiana, ended up issuing a forecast discussion like they normally do, but something was really interesting with it. They actually mentioned along the I-10 and I-12 corridor, which is generally in this area here, they talked about the potential for a foot of snowfall in that area. So we'll be watching like the Lafayette, Baton Rouge, St. George, towards Crowley, and maybe even a little bit west, all the way as far west as Lake Charles, for the potential of up to a foot of snowfall. That was not the tab I wanted to pull up. Welcome, Sebastian. Glad to see you in here. I gotta refresh my live chat. My English is terrible today. Welcome, Real Time Storms, Trell. Let's see. Heart, glad to see you in here. I'm gonna just call you the. Welcome to see you in here, or glad to see you in here as well. Welcome to the stream. See if I forgot anybody else. Glad to see you guys all in here, the gaming as well. So, yeah, there's all of our winter storm watches out here in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. That's where we're going to be watching for our winter storm on Tuesday. But we obviously already have our winter storm watches, or rather winter storm warnings. Again, English, just not here today. So we have our winter storm warnings out for Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia. And then we also have our winter storm watches for New Hampshire, Maine, into Rhode Island, and even including Boston here. I do want to see the forecast for Boston. They call for 4 to 8 inches of snowfall possible in Boston. Welcome, Legacy. Hello, Raven. Glad to see you in here. Augusta, Georgia. Sure, I'll take a quick look at that. Let's see. Just so that way I have an area to look at here on our model runs whilst we go through them. So the model run I think that's handling this the best is the European model. I'll switch you guys on over here so you can see this a little bit better. There you go. So this is the model that I think is handling this upcoming system the best. And for your area, it shows probably about 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. As I mentioned in our TikTok live stream earlier, this region here is actually something that I think is significantly being overdone on the European model run here, from southeastern Georgia through South Carolina into North Carolina. I just think that's completely overdone. I don't think we'll actually see 7 to 8 inches of snowfall there. So Augusta, Georgia, I think you could see right around 2 inches of snowfall. That's what I think you could see. But that area is definitely, this region right in here definitely has quite a good amount of uncertainty with it. There's been a lot of model uncertainty. And a lot of model uncertainty for sure. Tyler, Texas. I'll just get a few of these questions out the way right at the start, and then we'll dive into more model data. Tyler, Texas, you're pretty far north, but you're probably going to end up with around an inch or so of snowfall. They're calling for they're calling for up to 3 inches of snowfall to your south, so you'll probably see around 1 inch or so of snow in Tyler. And in terms of the timing, let me go look. I can't get the right tab open. There it is. In terms of the timing, the main snowfall will most likely be occurring Tuesday morning, right around 8 a.m. Central. And that will continue throughout Tuesday afternoon. This is our newest GFS model run. What does that show for Georgia? Yeah, you can see the difference. Look at the difference. Right in here. This is your GFS model run versus your European model run. Now, I want to go ahead and note right off the bat, the GFS model run is a massive outlier in this situation. All of our other model runs agree with widespread 2 to 4 inches of snowfall across much of South Carolina, in Georgia, even into southeastern North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. But the GFS model run just doesn't. I'm going to go ahead and quickly check the icon model because that's the only one I haven't looked at. That is the only model I haven't looked at today. Like, I haven't even checked it once. Okay, the icon model run. Oh, that's just... Since when is that ever accurate? I'm just going to throw that away. I don't think the icon model has really ever been accurate. But the Canadian model run, the European model run, both match up with widespread 2 to 4 inches of snowfall across much of Georgia, much of Alabama, into southeastern South Carolina, and eastern North Carolina, southeastern Virginia. Do you think there could be any power outages with the cold around Kentucky? Mainly with the cold, all the cold air that's pulling in. You just really want to be careful in the morning commute hours, just in case you get any ice on the roads. Any rain that just sits over on roadways or in your driveway, it could freeze over very rapidly. And you want to just make sure you limit your time outdoors. You don't want to be outdoors often with such cold wind chills coming through. And power outages, I don't really see that being a big issue. The main thing with cold weather is pipes busting. That's really it. Pipes breaking is really the main issue. And also if you have any sensitive groups that go outside. I don't really think power will be much of an issue personally. Yeah, you're going to get rain in Central Florida for sure. It's going to be a very rainy start to your week in Florida. Today, it's going to be possibly some rain showers, but tomorrow it's going to be a lot of rain. Tuesday's going to be rain. Wednesday's going to be rain. And then Thursday's going to be rain. Finally, on Friday, it exits. And you don't get any more rain after that. There is a little tiny system here that we are monitoring. It's this one right here. Thursday, there's a tiny little, I don't even know what to call it, just a little bit of moisture that barely gets above the, or north of the 540 line here, and that allows for it to get some snow into Virginia and North Carolina. I don't know if any other model runs are really picking up on that. I don't see it on the Euro model. Actually, I do see it on the Euro model. Look at the coastline of North Carolina. See how your totals go from, let's see. They go from, according to this, 7.7 inches of snow. And then once we go through Friday, they go to 9.6. So the Euro shows like 2 extra inches of snowfall Thursday into Friday in North Carolina. So we'll keep an eye on that extra moisture that could bring some additional snow totals and power outages out there in eastern North Carolina, southeastern Virginia. Hello, Justin, April. Glad to see you guys in the stream. Panhandle will get snow, yes. We're expecting to see snow in, what is it? It started with, okay, there it is. Pensacola, yeah. Pensacola, I think we'll get snow. There's a chance that we see snow even as far east as like just barely west of Tallahassee, like this far east. There's a chance we see snow all in this region here. But after Tallahassee, beyond that, this whole region here, you know, near Jacksonville, southeast of Tallahassee, that area should not see snow. It'll be too warm. It depends how far south it goes, because if it goes really, really far south and we see our low pressure track like this, then we could see snow in this region here. And of course, it would also be more north than that too. But really, we're not going to have a low pressure that goes that close. Let me show you on the GFS model. You can see our low pressure is really going to be way back here. So our main steering current is really going to be the high pressure that is very finicky over here in the Midwest. If that goes a little bit more south, it pushes the whole system south. If it goes north, the whole system pulls north. It also comes down to your trough ejection as well. Can I compare the two here? Yeah, see your difference in the trough. See how the Euro model has more digging happening right in this area, whereas the GFS has more kind of I don't want to say zonal, but it's just more of a sharply negatively tilted trough there. The Euro is also significantly quicker, too. So basically, the European model run amplifies it more, basically meaning it strengthens it more. That results in more snow, whereas the GFS kind of just keeps it orientated negatively the entire time. Like, see how it's just really straight flow like that? Whereas if you go for the European model run, it's straight flow up here, but then it digs down into Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and that allows for more widespread snow totals in this area. What about ice in north central Florida? I personally haven't really seen many model ones showing an ice storm out of this in Florida. I've seen some that show an ice storm in southeastern Texas, southern Louisiana, but the National Weather Service was talking about ice in Florida and southern Georgia. Right now, I don't see that. You can't really look at it with the Euro model here. I'm going to switch on over to the Canadian model. Give me just a moment. Let's see if this has it. You know what? We're going to look at... Oh, we are already on it. There's your Canadian model run. Okay, the Canadian model run does show ice in far north central Florida. But personally, I just don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. It depends how much this trough is amplified. Is that what the GFS has? Yeah, so see, even the European and the Canadian agree. You can see that difference, this right here. That's what we're watching. See how the Canadian model run has it more amplified. The Euro model has it more amplified as well. And then the GFS has it straight. So the GFS is a massive outlier there. And if can we zoom in at all? We really can't. But here is your snowfall totals there. And you can see they look similar to the European model run. The only difference is the Euro model is more aggressive on the coastal areas of South Carolina and North Carolina. So, long story short, I really don't think we'll see a big ice issue in north central Florida. I think it will be mainly rain. See what the National Weather Service is talking about, though. If we do get an ice storm anywhere, I have a feeling it would be either in kind of south central Texas. You can barely see it. Kind of south central Texas into all of southern Louisiana. That's where I think we could actually end up with an ice storm. Or some ice that could end up causing, localized power outages. Yeah, see, right in there. Along this small corridor here. Probably not that far into the panhandle of Florida, though. More of this region. That's what I'm feeling more confident at for the potential of ice. And as for the eastern portion of the U.S., that's from the other storm there. So let me switch it back here. Yeah, not really much ice here in the eastern U.S. either. I don't really see a big ice issue, like I said, unless it's going to be in south central Texas or southern Louisiana. And even then, I personally don't really see that actually verifying. I don't see what the GFS shows actually occurring. Snow in Raleigh, let's see. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a close one. Let me go look at our two best models. So this is the Canadian model. Raleigh is like right there, if I'm not mistaken. It's right here. That shows 3.6 inches of snow. The Euro model is a bit less aggressive, showing 1.4, 1.8. So I'd say if you live in Raleigh, I'd say probably about an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches of snow is something that I would be watching out for. According to the National Weather Service's experimental warning criteria site, you actually have a high chance of getting into a winter storm warning. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Thank you for the $2 donation, Sam. Much appreciated. Glad to see you back in here. Let me go ahead and get that area for you. So that is in... Ooh, you're pretty far in northwestern South Carolina. That's definitely an area where we have uncertainty in, but I really don't think the GFS is going to verify. I think you're going to see about, personally, my opinion, 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. I really don't see the GFS verifying where it shows like a ½ inch of snow for you. I really just don't see that. I think you're going to be on the higher end. I think this snowstorm will be more notable than what the GFS has. Pensacola, Florida, probably around 2 inches of snowfall. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, yeah. Probably around 2 inches of snowfall. That's where I thought it was. I was pretty sure Pensacola was in the western panhandle. I just wanted to check again. Will it snow in San Antonio? Let's check. I'm pretty sure the National Weather Service has their main forecast off to the northeast of you for snow potential. Let's check again. It's close. Whoa, this is new. We got a new frame here. It's very close to San Antonio. I think you're going to be able to see some flurries. I don't know about accumulation out there, Ben, but probably at least some flurries. You're welcome, Sam. Thanks for tuning in. So this is their newest forecast for snowfall through Tuesday. What is this? I got to think of the Zulu conversion. This is around 2 a.m. Around 2 a.m. Eastern. So this is before the main snowstorm even really gets going. If I just show you the Canadian model run again, because that's, in my opinion, one of our more accurate models for this. 2 a.m., your snow is going to be looking like this. Very, very light snowfall. Your main snow comes in around 2, 3 p.m. in central Louisiana. And the biggest difference between the Canadian and the GFS, you'll see it right towards the end. Look at the Canadian with a secondary low pressure very obviously forming here off the coastline of Florida and moving to the northeast. The GFS does have that, but it is significantly weaker and not nearly as obvious. I can't show you what the European has, at least. Oh, wait. I think I can. Is it here? Yeah, I can show it. I just remembered. This has European. Honestly, the European model run doesn't have as deep of a low pressure as I thought. But you can still tell that the European model run has a much better low pressure than the GFS. So it's going to depend on all this moisture that is coming up from the Gulf of Mexico and if it forms a good low pressure here near the Carolinas. If you guys in like Wilmington and Myrtle Beach end up with the higher end forecast of 5 to 6 inches of snow. Or you could end up with a lower end forecast of half an inch of snowfall if that low pressure doesn't form at all. But the European model run, I think the European model run is handling this almost the best. Like I mentioned, I do think it is a little bit too aggressive along the coastal areas here, but I still think it's handling it the best overall. Definitely way better than the GFS model run, and it's pretty close between the European model run and the Canadian model run on which one I would rather listen to. So we'll see. I'm very intrigued to see which model run is going to end up verifying. But yeah, we should get more winter storm watches expand into Alabama, maybe into the western panhandle of Florida throughout the rest of tonight, and then probably end up seeing watches into Georgia and South Carolina through much of the day tomorrow. If you guys are enjoying the live stream, make sure you hit that like button. We're almost at 30 likes already, so that's greatly appreciated. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there. We've got quite a lot of cold weather entering the U.S. That's going to be quite the annoyance. I'm pretty sure we have some extreme cold watches out. Let's check. Not something I have on Radar Omega enabled because I really didn't think we'd see so many of them. Is it down here? Yep. So this is your extreme cold watches. That's where you can see negative temperatures. Negative temperatures in, let me get rid of, you know what? I'm going to get rid of everything except for the extreme cold watches. So you can see that better. Ooh, maybe not that. There you go. So that's your extreme cold watches. That's where we're going to be seeing negative wind chills. Negative wind chills. Some areas up here in like Ohio, probably into like negative 15. Negative 25 in central Ohio is expected. Whereas if we go towards like, you know, Georgia, this is probably negative 5 or so. Yeah. At or slightly below 0 by sunrise Monday morning. What about out here in Alabama and Florida? Dangerously cold temperatures as low as 6 above possible. 6 above 0. I was so confused there. I was like, what? 6 above. Yeah, dangerously cold temperatures as low as 6 above 0 possible. So 6 degrees. There you go. Got slightly confused there. You're not in one, but I think you're in an advisory. Yeah. Look at all the advisories. Oh, I did the wrong one again. Classic TRG moment right there. There's all your cold winter weather or cold weather advisories. So in Nashville, that is for single digits, temperatures into the single digits, and wind chills as low as 5 below expected. So basically, your normal temperatures could be anywhere between 9 and 0, and your wind chills will be most likely lower than 0. That's a lot of cold air. That's a lot of cold air. This is the historic blast we were talking about so long ago. The potential for a historic blast, and it's definitely a huge blast. I don't know if it will be historic or not. I don't know the coldest temperatures for areas, but I'm sure we'll end up breaking a cold temperature record somewhere. We ought to. All right, let me turn all these back on. There we go. I don't want to have those cold winter weather watches on and advisories because they'll take up my whole entire screen. So, yeah, we'll continue to watch these model runs. I don't think I'm going to do a 2-hour live stream. I was going to, but there's just not a lot of data that I haven't already seen, so we'll see what happens. 18Z Euros coming out. Let me go see. I got a different site that renders it in really quickly, but I can't show it on stream. Let's go here. Models. Euro. Definitely in the US. I'll do the Southeast US. See what it shows. Okay, mine still has the... Oh, wait, hold on. I did the wrong one. That's why. I didn't do the 0Z0... The 03Z and the 18Z. Or 06Z. I can't English. 06Z, 18Z. Yep, it is indeed rendering in. For me, it is 42 frames in. Which I think it only goes 90 out, so... Alright, let me go ahead and choose the right region. US, southeastern US, and snowfall. Okay, 42 hours out isn't far enough. It's only valid through Monday, so I'm going to look at the one in the northeast then. I'm going to choose the region for the northeast US, see what it shows for that. Well, that's very, that's very much on the low end. What does the 12Z have? Let's go check that. 12Z Euro totals in the Northeast. Wow. According to this site, which I don't know how accurate it is, but it shows the 18Z says significantly less. Did I do the right product? I definitely did. Wow. So apparently the 18Z Euro downtrended a lot for the New England states. I don't know how much I believe that, though. This site might be a little wrong. I'd like to wait until it comes in on College Due page. All right, let me close out all this. Negative 10 wind chills. That's not terrible. That's only, like, historic for my area. I'm gonna go check. Let's see. Yep. If I got negative 10, it would beat my record by 5 degrees. Yeah. Definitely would be historic here in Virginia. I don't think we're going to see that, though. I hope we won't. Let me go check. This is normal temperatures that we're going to look at. This does not include wind chills. Jeez, Monday morning is going to be... Tuesday morning is going to be way worse. Upstate New York probably won't... Or, wait, that was South Carolina. I'm just used to saying New York with upstate. I apologize. Upstate South Carolina, though, probably won't see more than an inch of snow. It depends, though, because if you're, like... If we're talking, like, Greenville, that's, like, an inch of snow. But if you go towards closer to, like, Greenwood or that area, which isn't really fully upstate, we could see up to about 2 inches of snow there. But generally, very low accumulations. Very low accumulations. Satellite just updated. So we'll see how this winter storm plays out here for the southern U.S. In the northeast U.S., I really think we'll see a significant winter storm. I'm pretty confident we'll see widespread areas of 9 inches of snowfall across much of the New England states. Let me go ahead and pull this out so I could show you. Wrong thing. Yeah, so here you go. Yeah, I'm pretty confident we'll be seeing widespread, like 7 to 9 inches of snowfall. And in this area, we'll probably see up to a foot of snow. So it should be a pretty crazy winter storm in the northeastern U.S. But it shouldn't be historic for the Northeast US. You guys see this type of snowstorm all the time. The historic part will be for our snowstorm down here in Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi, where this area hasn't seen this much snow in a very, very long time. The most snow recorded in Baton Rouge was, was it 3.5 inches of snow? I just looked it up. I think it was like 3.5 inches of snow was the most snow ever recorded in Baton Rouge. And we could see, if you read here, we could see up to 6. We could see up to 6. So purple on this map, purple is 6+ inches of snowfall. And then once you get into dark purple, it's like 8, and then pink, it's 9+. And then really light pink is a foot of snowfall, and then green is when you get past a foot of snowfall as well. Yeah, pink is about 10 inches of snowfall, light pink is 11 inches, and then green is a foot. And then we also have this color here, which is 2 feet. That lake effect is going to be pretty significant. I think that's going to be a bit more overshadowed by our winter storm. I mean, look at that. Their official forecast is calling for 15 inches of snow in Buffalo. That is ridiculous. If we ever got that here in Virginia, I'd be stuck for a week. I ought to never open up my door. But in Buffalo, I guess that's just a normal thing. I mean, I remember, I swear, like every single year, Buffalo gets a ridiculous amount of snowfall from lake effect. Yeah, I'm doing coverage tomorrow. I'll probably be a little bit later. I may not start up the live stream until like 6 o'clock. I was thinking of starting it at 2, but the primary bands of heavy snow looks to be at or after 6 o'clock for the New England states. So we'll probably do an hour or 2 of coverage tomorrow. I won't promise anything more than 2 hours of coverage because I know how it goes now. I think I'll be able to last like 3, 4, 5 hours on a winter storm stream, and then I'm ready to quit by like an hour and a half in. How far into Virginia are you seeing this snow? Let's see. I mean, I'm in Martinsville, and I'm not going to get, like, anything out of this. But if you're talking about the state of Virginia, the main snow totals will be in southeastern Virginia, and then far northern Virginia as well. Southeastern Virginia for Wednesday morning, and then far northern Virginia for Sunday, which is tomorrow. Pennsylvania, I don't really know, honestly. I think this whole region here is probably not going to get winter weather advisories. It looks like the snow totals have downtrended a bit with those. You're still going to see widespread 2 inches of snowfall, though, but I don't think that warrants a winter weather advisory. I don't believe it does. All good, Catherine. I probably won't be here too much longer. I mean, there's not really a whole lot more data to go over. We go over all the data so fast because there's not really a lot of analysis you can do with a winter storm. At least not one that's so uncertain to this. There's no point in doing so much analysis when models are all over the place still. Like I said, if you are looking at model runs, make sure you're not using the GFS. The GFS is just handling this terribly. If it verifies, I would be shocked. I would be shocked if the GFS verifies. This would be, like, if the GFS verified, it would be a ridiculous flop for much of the southeastern U.S., this whole area here. It would be like one of the biggest flops of the decade. Going from potentially even up to 7, 8 inches of snowfall in southeastern North Carolina, northeastern South Carolina, or like this area here is what I mean. Right in here. That's an area where we could see up to about 7 inches of snowfall. To what the GFS has is just like an inch. That would be crazy. I don't think I showed it yet. They're forecasting like a 30% chance of extreme winter storm impacts in South Carolina and North Carolina, which is not something I don't think we've ever seen out here in the Carolinas. Ooh, actually, they decreased the probabilities a bit across the coastal areas, but they still have an area of a 30% chance of extreme winter storm impacts. Which, like I said, that is very, very rare to see. It used to be a lot larger. I think it was even up to 30% in Myrtle Beach, but that was taken away. For a major winter storm, though, look at the probabilities. We're up to a 50% chance of a major winter storm in southeastern Virginia, northeastern North Carolina. And out here for Louisiana, we're up to 50% as well. I do think this will increase more. I think this will get a lot higher. We'll most likely end up with major impacts in Louisiana. As for North Carolina, Virginia, I'm not 100% sure on that. And this is minor winter storm conditions, so basically, minimal travel impacts. A few inconveniences to daily life, and use caution while driving. And they have a 90 to 95% chance of minor impacts across almost all of Louisiana, with the exception of far southeastern Louisiana and far northern Louisiana. This is WSSI. So to get it to here, what you do is you just look up, go to your browser. I don't want to go to it and show it, but you just look up WSSI, hit enter, and then it's like the second, maybe third link. You scroll down to, let's see. I can't go back to it. Well, there's my browser page. I want to go back to the WSSI. Okay, here it is. So it will bring you to this site here, and you just click right there. And it brings you to it. I forgot what this one is. Oh yeah, this is the actual WSSI here, not probabilities. This is actually what impacts are expected. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, put them in the chat. I don't think I'm gonna stay on here much longer, honestly, because I'll be here for a while tomorrow covering our winter storm 1 to 2. Like I said, I'm promising right now. I'm promising I'm gonna do at least an hour of coverage. I don't want to promise more than that because, like I said, I know how it goes. I think I'm gonna be able to cover for like 5-6 hours, and then I'm ready to quit it too. Let's see. Could you possibly tell me travel conditions for Mississippi? Let's see. Tuesday morning? Okay. Oops. So you are in a winter storm watch. I'm sure you're already aware of that. You said 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. Let's see here. This is a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. According to this, you're not going to start seeing snowfall until probably about like 11 a.m. or almost noon. Let me go to the European model run. We'll see. So 72 hours out. Oh, wait, no. Actually, it's going to be 78 hours out. I want to see if the European model run agrees with that, because that's the better model run, like I said. European model run, 75 hours out. It'll be light snow. Either barely snow or light snow. The heaviest snowfall will start probably around 11 a.m. or so. Okay, man. So I think you'll be perfectly fine all the way up until about a noon or so. I would recommend staying off the roads after about 11 a.m. Central. Because that's when snow will be the heaviest. Yeah, there is a 2% chance for tornadoes today. I didn't see the need to activate live coverage on that. I mean, it's just literally a clump of rain showers that might be able to spin. That's literally it. Like, it's literally just this big clump of rain showers. I'll show you. It's your HRRR. And you can see, I mean, it's really just rain. The best chance for tornadoes will probably be right on the coastal areas here near Cedar Key. This region here towards about 7 o'clock. Or rather 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock tonight. But even then, that chance is still very low. Yeah, it's still very low chance. And then it will increase overnight tonight. We'll also have a better chance overnight. What about tomorrow? Yeah, also wouldn't be surprised to see a tornado threat tomorrow in like Central Florida. I'm pretty sure they have a 2% for that. Yep. I would not be surprised to see a tornado in Central Florida tomorrow afternoon. And I wouldn't be surprised if we got a tornado somewhere in here after 8 o'clock. So from like 8 p.m. all the way till like 6 a.m. Eastern. Galveston, South Carolina, 15 miles south of Columbia. South of Columbia is where you want to be. If you're north of Columbia, that's where your chances get less. I mean, right now, two of our most agreeing model runs, pretty sure they're both going to show you getting 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. Oh, this is the wrong one. Not that. So that's like right here, south of Columbia. Shows about 3.4 inches of snowfall on the Canadian model run. And in the Euro model run, it shows probably right around there. Yeah, about 3.3. So I think you're going to get, and I hope you get more than 2 inches of snow. Hopefully you get more than 2 inches of snow out there. But of course, there's always the one scenario that you don't, and that's what the GFS shows here. GFS shows like a full, like I said, one of the most memorable underperformances out here in the southeastern U.S. Going from potentially widespread 2 to 5 inches of snowfall, isolated areas up to 8, to literally barely anything. A dusting. Because some models go full on out here, like the Euro model. You can see isolated areas up to 7, 8 inches along the coastal regions. So let's hope the GFS is, it depends. It depends. Because if you hate snow, you want the GFS to be right. If you love snow, you want the Euro to be right. I don't think you'll see much snow in your region, Proxy. Let me go check. What, 2 to 4 inches probably? 1 to 3 inches of snowfall possible. I don't think you'll see more than 3. Which for you, that's probably not a lot of snow, considering you're in the higher elevations of Virginia. One tiny difference in the jet stream is changing the whole course of your winter storm. And it's this little indent. Let's see. I gotta find the exact indent. So it looks like the number one issue here is timing. Let's see. I want to see exactly how different these are. Sorry if I'm flipping between them, but I want to see why it's so off. So from what I can tell, the main difference is this region here. This little kink right back there. Watch how much it changes. This is for Tuesday night on the Euro model. That's favorable for a winter storm. See how far south your jet stream is? So that's picking up moisture and it's pushing it up into the southeastern US, allowing for us to get snow. If we look at the GFS model run, keep an eye again right here. Now on the GFS model, look how much more elongated it is. It's a large flow of jet stream. It's not amplified. It's not a sharp access point to be able to pick up that moisture. And so it's more of just dragging the moisture along with it. And so you still end up with snow, but it's not heavy snow because it's not an amplified trough. It's a very weak trough. Whereas the Euro model, you can see it. See how much it's digging? It's digging on the Euro model. And look at all that moisture streaming up into the Carolinas. GFS still has that moisture, but it's not digging as much. You can see it's way back here. That digging is way back here into western Texas, well away from the Gulf of Mexico. So it still has moisture, but look at that. It's digging the moisture here, but then you have a lack of moisture still there. It's just a lot less moisture up there in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, into southeastern Georgia. And then last second, as we get a second low pressure that forms here, that does help with some moisture, but it's too late by then. So we just get a quick hitting blast of an inch of snowfall on the coastal areas of North Carolina, South Carolina. It's a lack of moisture thanks to the amplitude of the trough. Your trough isn't digging well enough. See, it starts to dig here. Look at this. After the storm begins to leave, you can see it starts to dig here, and you get good moisture across this entire area. Across that whole region. Hold on, I'm going to go check something really quick. Oh, shoot, we got to end now. I apologize for the abrupt ending. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in tomorrow's live stream, most likely at 6 p.m. Eastern, for live coverage for an hour or two on our winter storm in the northeastern United States. Thank you, mods, for mod and chat. I'm ending on time, Legacy. I'm ending on time. Stay safe and watch the snowfall. Goodbye. No way, that's crazy, Caleb. Stay safe and watch the snowfall. Have a great rest of your night. Good.